Hello everyone, welcome to BrickVault. Today we get to examine what I think is the Star Wars equivalent of a police cruiser, but probably a little bit beefier. From the designer LDD Model Maker, this is the custom LEGO minifig scale Republic Police Gunship and the later and also parallel Imperial Patrol Transport. These are primarily used to police civilian populations as they're not designed to take heavy weapons fire, but instead patrol, pursue, and enforce standard criminal activity. The design looks like a combination of maybe a TIE fighter and Republic gunship and is frankly just a completely unique shape in the Star Wars universe. There were a lot of great techniques used to pack a ton of features into this little model, and before I jump in, first let me say that if you wanted to build either of these creations, you can get the instructions at BrickVault.toys. Included with each purchase is the PDF step-by-step building guide, a digital parts list for uploading and ordering all the pieces you need to build. All of the models we host are built and tested for strength, instructions are tested so they're easy to follow along, and parts are chosen with availability in mind. Buying instructions is an awesome way to help support both us and the talented people we work with, like LDD Model Maker. This is his first design up in the web store, so comment below and let us know what you think. Remember, that is BrickVault.toys, linked in the description below, and no more delay, let's start off by taking a closer look first at the Republic Police Gunship. This is also known as the Coruscant Police Gunship. It was first seen, in fact, used as an enforcement for the massive city in the Clone Wars show, and the dark blue lines up really well with the black and gray that makes up for a pretty distinct police look. And on top of that, the ship also flashes red and blue lights, which is fairly standard for many countries' law enforcement agencies, I think, today. Even in the universe of Star Wars, it's immediately clear what this ship is for, which I like, and then the fat insect-like body is nothing but utilitarian in design. The double doors open on either side. They stagger top and bottom with steps for entry and exit built directly in. Despite being a not so large vehicle in relative terms, there is still a lot of space on the inside for figs. You can see some detailing that shows what would be doors that lead to the cockpit. And then with a little bit of effort, you can pack 6, maybe more figs on the inside. Plus, there are studs on the outer lip if you wanted to have a fig standing on the edge. That's about as solid as you can get for hull spacing, but technically that's not quite it for the interior. You might have noticed the windscreen in the front isn't transparent, but instead brick built. The shape for this area of the ship is so unique that getting it right meant moving away from transparent pieces, but that doesn't mean you can't fit pilots on the inside. This whole section folds up on a couple of hinges, and there is space for 2 figs, one above the other. This worked out really well for the LEGO build because the windscreen folding function works the same way it does in universe, and it's the same for the staggered vertical pilots. It is not a bad bit of designing here. There's plenty of space, it's easy to transform, and keeps the angles in the front of the ship looking very on point. Also, in the front here, you can see the turrets move on a single axis. There is some bar clip articulation for that primary searchlight. And then the last main bit of transforming for the model is meant for landing. The angled solar collectors on either end fold until the bottom half is flush with the ground, and there are 2 stabilizers in the rear that also fold down to meet the surface at the same time. Even though this ship wasn't explicitly designed for military use, Much of its lifespan served in maintaining the power of the Empire and was often the first ship on the scene when responding to a local disturbance of Imperial interest. This colder, grayer model is identical in form and function to the previous one, but simply represents a different time in the vehicle's service. I do have a quick question for you. Do you think this vehicle had an influence on the Empire ceasing its production of the larger Republic gunship design. It's just a genuine lore question here because they both perform many of the same tasks, and this guy just comes in a bit of a smaller package, which might have made more sense now that they weren't constantly at war. It's a super well-built model that is extremely casual to handle. There is a straightforward stand that studs directly into the bottom of the model, and the instructions for that is also included if you wanted to pick them up at BrickVault.toys. So that is about it for the Police Gunship and Imperial Patrol ship. I'm super happy with the way these models turned out, and I'd definitely like to know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, of course, let me know what other types of models you'd like to see built in the studio for the future. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoy our content, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.